I think that a lot of our losses this year are just been growing pains. We definitely have a team that can keep building. I think this is just the low bar for skill base, and the ceiling's very high.
This is my third season in FOF, and I think it's getting more intense, and we have to like stay focused, not joking around anymore.
We're just ready to win, and we want to get these 2 Ws this week, and that's what we're going for.
IOYM going in, trying to save his teammate, is not going to be able to. He's going to go down as well as Hismi picks up a kill.
Caitlin's in a bad spot as the ulti goes out onto her. She's forced to flash out. She's zoning Ezreal.
Getting the playoffs to show our overall growth. We have a great coaching staff, and both of them have been really grinding us, getting us prepared for what's going to be coming next, getting us to play more.
You know, B-Try it's his first season to play with us. He kind of wanted to like show everyone that he's a good jungler. Like he want to like be a superstar. It's gonna mean a lot to him, but for us, we just do it the best we can.
This is our first season together. We have a lot to grow. If we can get in the playoffs, get that experience, just everything's on the upward tick there.
So it's gonna be an easy one if K1 ZZ he focused on the game more. Last 2 games, he got friend zone with his girlfriend, like not girlfriend, he got friend zone, and then he like kind of feet.
My overall expectations will be this match is very bloody. I think that their bottom lane is incredibly aggressive.
I hope we're gonna focus on this match, so it's gonna be an easy one. Our problem right now is only K1.
We're trying to get the playoffs here soon, and we need to make this win on Tuesday, and then go on from there.
The people in the league, they know how we do. Like you guys know us as a win lane win game, but I think throughout like 2 or 3 seasons, we cannot play like that anymore. I'll promise you guys. It's going to be a really new test next season.
Welcome one and all to TAS versus Skill Based. I am joined by Brendan today, and we're going to be looking at a game that is kind of the bottom of the table, but it's going to be hotly contested between Team Asworth and between Skill Based. Brendan, what are you looking at for this game?
I'm actually by the way, dude, listen, not to hype this game up and not to sound like I'm just hyping up something for no reason. This was actually my match of the week, just for my own personal thing.
Yes.
Just because this is so huge for standings in general. I think that these are both teams that could have been way better than they actually are performing so far. I love how TAS plays. They play so caveman. They play so aggressive and not thinking about things. And Skill Base is a team I personally believe are way better than the record shows. I think how they play is a lot better than they show. I think that Zishan, in particular, the bot lane is one of the best bot laners in the entire league. Of course, my boss Theracles is in the mid lane, so I always must root against them.
Yep. Yeah, no, and looking like a Grace pickup early game for that kind of aggressive style that we normally see. No, Kaisa, we've seen Gua had a really good performance. I want to say that was into Yubi the previous week, where Gua and Onbo just played I believe it was Blitzcrank, Kaisa, and that bot lane were absolutely dominant, pulling out I think 8-0 during the laning phase. Gua I think came out of the game with double-digit kills. It was really, really impressive to see that dominance from the bot lane. Now we see
Let's go!
I believe that's for Zishan with the Amumu potentially. Amumu being such a strong lock-in, especially for the support role, we might see that one roll in.
Dude, I've been waiting to cast a game where someone picks Lucian. Lucian, of course, is my favorite champion in all of League of Legends, bro. I'm a fucking I'm a Lucian sweat lord, by the way, dude. I freaking love Lucian. Finally gets picked, and Gua, who's one of my favorite AKs just from the past. I love saying his name. I like how he plays. He plays very similar to me, which is very Vayne spotty, to be fair. Locks in the Kaisa, which is one of his prototypical champions. It's really one of the champions I would mark as Gua's champions in general. As we see the Amumu, and you know I'm a simp for the Amumu. I talked about it last game. I think it's about support. Galio lock in. Oh, is Taz gonna learn?
I'm gonna go ahead and make a hard call out that is not going to be for Onbo. I might be wrong on that. I haven't really seen Hismi play those types of champions, but maybe I have not been paying close enough attention to it. That obviously that could flex between the 2 roles, the mid lane and the support role. Almost certainly going to see a jungle lock-in for B-Tray here going into the first round. There was a lot of jungle focus in those early bans from skill-based. And yes, they are going to go ahead and take that Graves. Okay, so they hovered it earlier, and that is going to be an aggressive option in the jungle for Asworth. We'll see if Skill Base wants to counter with a jungler of their own.
Do you think that we're going to get blessed right now with Taz actually learning how to play not caveman style League of Legends?
I think
the
that
Galio lock-in.
If they can make that kind of adaptation and actually start to play as a coordinated team, or even Obviously, you can't make those types of changes overnight, but if they can focus on that more, we could see some really quality play out of them because their individual has been obviously what's taken them to the wins that they have gotten in the previous seasons and in this season as well. So if they can make those kind of team-wide adaptations and even just try and play a little bit more around, whether it's where your gold is or whoever's doing the best right now, whatever, going for towers, objectives, if they can stay a little bit more focused on that type of gameplay, we could see a really big swing from them coming into this later half of the season. Obviously, they are in contention for that playoff spot right now with Fraud Squad dropping the previous game to BBZ, and this would put them at 3-8 tied with FS for that 6th place slot.
And if Skill-Based wins this game, they're tied with TAS for that 7th spot, which means they're 1 game out of the 6th spot, the last spot, the very important spot to make playoffs.
Ooh, the RLS
The
Volibear,
the RLS.
Yeah,
RLS special.
There's the Volibear locked in on the side of Skill Base. Obviously, that could be going into either role. That Amumu, in theory, could still be in the jungle right now for Frage, but I don't. We've seen some success with the Amumu jungle. Amumu support is just so dominant right now. I don't know why you would take that Amumu and just move it out of really just such a comfortable zone for that champion right now, and he's so effective in that bot lane. We saw such a performance from Orphic in the previous game, winning that MVP vote from that Amumu just being so good. And yes, it will be. Looks like it is going to be into the bot lane for Ombo with that Galio.
Cassiopeia is a really strong pick right now. I actually think it's one of the most underrated champions in the league. I actually want him to see picked way more in FOF. It is kind of a hard champion to pilot, but I think it's really, really strong. And Spencer, let me ask you a question, dude. Let me ask you. Am I tampering if I tell teams in the Helios to ban Volibear against RLS?
No, not at all.
I'm so tired of seeing.
We spend every interview and every single lounge saying there's absolutely no problem. Top lane pickup. Okay, no, I was kind of excited for the Jace there from K1, but it is going to just be the Renekton. That is almost certainly going to be into Volibear. Now that matchup is normally Volibear favored.
Yeah.
It's very good for him because he's able to just shove in the waves and stat stick very effectively into that Renekton. But no, it is going to be Mundo, so that is going to be Volibear in the jungle. If this is going to be a top lane lock-in for Rochelle, and Rochelle very fond of that Mundo in these last few games, been a comfort pick for him. I might see that one finally locked in here from the side of Skill Base, which would leave their composition very, very tanky, very CC heavy, and exclusively relying on that Lucian for damage.
All right. So who are we going with for this game right now? You know what? I'm gonna say SKL because I've always been an SKL believer.
I think I'm going to go to the side of Asworth just on account of the fact that they have that easier team composition to to focus on. I think that Volibear could pump out a lot of damage from the side of skill based if they build it for the damage, if they go for that Divine Sunderer build. But I think that skill base is just lacking that kind of engage that they might need. Obviously Volibear able to run in, Mumu able to run in, but I don't think it's going to be enough to get on top of that Kaisa, disrupt the Galio, or really just get on top of Hisme, who's going to deal so much damage in these later team fights with that Cassio.
All right, now look at this by SKL. This is why I'm so really on the SKL train in general, because they immediately 5-wide, which a lot of teams do not do. I would, if I had to critique, I wish that a Mumu and Lucian would actually swap positions onto the 5-wide, just I think the AD carry is better suited in that position because you get more vision, and a Mumu gets less vision, and of course it's beneficial if your support is below slash than your AD carry. And TAS is not 5-wide,
no,
which is actually a really big mistake unless you're invading.
Yeah, double stacking that bot bush, maybe looking for some kind of an invade there, but obviously if you're dealing with an invade, putting two people into one bush is not going to help you anything other than giving over a single double kill to the side of skill based. So we're going to see where these junglers want to start up at the meantime. Looks like it's going to be Beachary in the bot side. It looks like it's going to be Volibear just taking the top side of the map, taking that maybe solo camps. I think a lot of this game could revolve around the bot lane just on account of Zishan being the main damage dealer for the side of skill base. They don't really have a lot of damage. Having locked in the Volibear, having locked in the Lysandra, they don't have damage coming out of really any of the other lanes. And it's going to be hugely reliant on that very short range AD carry to deal the damage to things like a Renekton, like a Galio, and I think that could cause skill base a lot of problems compositionally, just forcing your damage dealer to be so close.
Well, I have not seen Renekton since his nerfs, and I believe 11-17, I think it was. I'm not entirely positive. He was nerfed recently, where they got rid of the duration on the stun so long. I think it was 1.5 to 1 second, which is actually pretty big, if I'm not mistaken. I might be off on those numbers, but
it was the stun duration nerf, and then they gave him a shorter lockout, so able to act a lot sooner out of that W, specifically on the empowered one. So W's are going to be consistent on Renekton. He was rebuffed, I believe, the following patch, not to the same level, but just give him a little bit more time on that W. Now we see level 2 picked up for actually the side of TAS, and the engage comes down from Kevin, just immediately taken low. That Ignite will tick him down. There is the heal available from Zishan, is going to use it, but now Zishan trading actually really effectively with Onbo. Kevin trying to find his way back in with the health potion ticking. Looks like it's going to be just a close trade so far. All the health potions burned in the bot lane. This Biscuit's rolling in for Zishan, but that HP advantage on the Lucian is going to be crucial.
Way too over-aggressive by Kevin right there. The Amumu cosplaying is me. By the way, Amumu is me as a champion, as a cosplay. Way too aggressive before they got into level 2, bandage toss, and I don't know if he expected to hit it. I assume he did. No, why else would you throw it?
Yeah.
They got into level 2. Very good by Zishan to bring the trade back and the over-aggression in general.
Bridge in the bot lane. I think it can be difficult to gank from there. Maybe he wants to move over to the Tribrush if he wants to try and see something come out of the spot lane. They know on the side of skill base that there hasn't been a ward down yet. Skua does decide to walk forward, doesn't have flash available. There's the taunt down on Bo, canceling that Q as it comes in again. There's the bandage toss landing on Go going incredibly low, but will that Ignite finally burn him down? No, heal is burned, and so low on Onbo. Meanwhile, trade in the top lane. Neither kill picked up in the bot lane. Very, very low health bars on the side of TAS. All summoners burnt, but no kills abroad. Just leaving it up to this top lane right now. Two trading back and forth. See the invade from the Graves on the top side, maybe looking towards Rochelle, but it doesn't matter. K1 immediately under turret, grabs that kill and flashes out for safety, and then has that Graves there for the support. See the Volibear on the bot side of the map just gets caught out, able to take that trade for free going in on Rochelle. And now Thero just left to try and farm out mid lane. No gank coming in from Fridge, and I think that there needs to be some proactive plays very, very soon from the side of skill-based, as they need to get that Lucian kind of moving ahead, moving forward. Like we said, that is kind of going to be their only damage source. And they need to make sure that he's staying ahead of this Kai'Sa. Obviously, the Kai'Sa being able to escape with all those summoners burnt could be some availability for the gank. Theracles does have both summoners available. A roam bot lane could be very effective right now, but I think they kind of need to ignore, skill-based does, they need to ignore that top lane and just kind of let Rochelle kind of drown into
his
that
man 6.
Yeah,
oh, no, he's not. Ooh,
no, not
goodness.
quite grabbing the 6 there.
My bad. Let's
Yeah.
see. Okay. All right. Where are we at? My point of center is off a bit because my sister just decided to ask me for $100 for
But
no
did you say
reason,
yes?
by the way.
But did you say yes?
Yeah, I love my sister, man. It's almost
That's
her birthday.
amazing.
Yeah, I gotta help
Brendan.
her out.
Chat, give Brendan some props there. $100 in middle of a cast. He's ready. But
My bad
yeah,
for being my attention span. But SKL and TAS again. Right now, we're going to see junglers. Right now, on opposite quadrants, they have not done a counter gank for each other so far. As Graves is going to be doing sneaking a dragon, I believe, right here.
Yeah. With the bot lane priority, is able to grab that one, and I think the gank coming in now in the mid lane from Fridge. Hisme starting to go very low. The cleanse already burned. Is able to flash out of that W, and another escaped gank. Lucky Fridge getting summoners, but not repeat ganking, and we see that flashes most of the way up for Hisme. Is going to find Betray in the jungle now. There can be a rotation from mid lane that comes a lot faster, but I say that the rotation from bot lane is even quicker. Betray already goes down. There's no smite available on the side of TAS as now they get pincered. Kevin goes in on top of the Galio. Onbo with no taunt available does go down, and now the chase goes on to Gua. There's the second bandage toss, and a double kill picked up for Zishan to get this bot lane going.
Which is really huge for, as we see Betray disconnect and reconnect. It's really huge for SKL because I think, as I said earlier, Zishan is by far the biggest part of SKL. I think he's the best part. So getting him up with this 2L lead on Gua is very, very big. Of course, TAS refuses to play at all passive in general. So I'm going to expect there to be way more kills in this bot lane with Lucian getting so far ahead. Of course, Lucian as a champion, it's very, very important for him to get ahead, especially early.
Yeah, and I think it's actually crucial the dragon that skill-based was able to pick up there for their Mundo, for their Volibear, and for their Amumu. And that Mountain Soul, the Mountain Dragon as an individual, is going to make those tank stats just that little bit more effective, and it can make a big difference, especially in these early stages of the game where you're just making these champions a little bit more tanky. I say that now, Kevin walking up on one of the tankiest early champions in the game in Graves. Betray has been kind of ineffective so far in the early stages of the game. Is able to grab quite a few camps at a Lucky Fridge's jungle, especially in that top side when Rochelle was solo killed. But you want to see more from Graves in these early stages, whether it's going for invades. You did try and get that dragon get those early objectives out of the way, but just wasn't able to get anything done. And now Fridge, even though has had some unsuccessful ganks so far, does get the 3 kills down on the bot side, picks up a kill for himself, picks up 2 kills for his ADC. Summoner's still burnt in the mid lane, so we can see another repeat gank there, but no, Fridge finds his way into the top lane. Between him and
uses
K1.
W.
Yeah. W already burnt there. K1 trying to turn this fight around. Rochelle taking so much damage, but is going to regen back up from that ultimate. The flash forward with the Q. The kill does go over to Rochelle, and there's another kill picked up on the top side with a gank by Fridge.
Very timely gank by one lucky Fridge right there. Of course, Renekton uses his W. Oh, nice dodge out by Zishan.
Good flash up by Zishan as Kevin taken very low. The heal popped on top of the ignite, but now Betray chasing out with the ultimate, does flash forward with the Q. Doesn't have enough mana for the ulti, I have to imagine, and that flash forward now gets awkward because Theracles is here, locking down the Graves, and Kevin just there to stay in XP range. Does grab that kill on the counter gank there from Theracles, and that lack of mana could be crucial there, not picking up the kill onto Kevin.
Very good TP, really, from
yeah.
Wow, you should have voice crack on me, by the way. Very smart TP by React by Lysandra right there. Good by Kevin to eventually get out. He continues to engage and then just get out very, very with very low HP. Zishan gonna nice. He might be dead here. Lucian's calling ulti does so much damage early now.
Oh, he's gonna grab it now, and now there's this re-engage from Kevin. They didn't know he was still there. They were trying to go for the 2v1, but Zishan's able to take it. There's the second bandage toss. On to Guon, another double kill. This 5-0 Lucian at 8 minutes, and I believe Rift Herald was picked up for one lucky Fridge, and this Lucian that we were saying needs to be doing so well is doing even more.
This is great. This is the content I love to see. I love seeing Lucian players do good. With the culling changes recently that happened, his culling does so much damage. Really. Early, of course, with the bullet increase, they took a bit of the damage away, but they increased how many bullets that you take in general. That's what really killed Ambo. And of course, Ambo engaged when he was 5 into Lucian's 6, which is really a mistake. Nice bandage toss in response by Kevin to secure the kill onto Gua.
Now we see the engage coming in from one lucky Fridge. Obviously, K1 does have the flash available, is using the slice and dice to try and move away. There's the flash that comes down. Moving towards Betray. Do they know he's here now? Fridge maybe in a position to get engaged on. They have to assume that he's here already as the Cassiopeia starts to roam up towards the top side of the map. It is pinged out by Theracles, but now the engage comes down from Betray onto Fridge. Below half HP under tower. The buckshot barely does not take him down, but now he's so low under the turret, getting pincered in from both sides. Hismay is there, trying to use that powered recall to get home, but he isn't going to be able to get away with it now. Using the ultimate there to pop up some extra HP, but I don't know that that's going to do him too much as he does go down to the Graves Q, and now does 1v3 under the tower. The Cassiopeia is blocked by Rochelle, but it is going to be a double kill under that tower from Betray. Is he going to walk out? No, does go down to the tower aggro, but that is a 2-for-1 in the top side of the map for the side of TAS.
Nice tower juggling for the most part. I mean, unfortunately, Betray gets down, so they did not do it perfectly, but they're gonna get this. I believe they're gonna get this tower, which is really good. The getting first tower is really important in general, getting the gold lead, especially on this Renekton, who needs to do really good. He has a CS lead at the moment, so very smart. Kevin's, I don't think he's in vision right here. I think he's trying to bait this.
Trying to bait another 2v1 fight. Now the question is TAS going to take it? They tried to take this once. It didn't go well for him. There's the solo plate picked up for Zishan, just making that gold lead even bigger. Pulling some decent CS numbers in that bot lane. Able to grab some tower plating. Speaking of tower plating, look like this Rift Herald is going to go into the mid lane, crack that tower down, and is going to give some gold exclusively over to one lucky Fridge as it doesn't get killed there. Betray and Hismay rush in to save that turret's life. It survives on almost no health with that final plating sitting there. First turret gold was not given over to TAS in that top lane. And now it's a very close race between these two sides, mid lane and top lane.
So I really like putting Rift Herald mid. I wish they would have waited just a bit longer until Dragon comes up, forcing the TAS team to react to this Herald play, and that would have given them priority over the Dragon. Fortunately, it was a bit late, and they did not get the mid tower kill, but I still like the play of putting it mid. I believe Herald should always go mid, as we're going to see engage right here.
Flashing from Fridge, also flashing from Theracles, and a flash out from Hismay. Both summoners burned, but he is going to escape with his life. No ultimate used, but this should be a free Dragon going over to the side of skill base as they pick up their second one, moving into either an Inferno or an Ocean Soul.
Very late Glacial Prison by Theracles right there. I'm not sure if he had enough mana or not to get that off, but he should immediately have done that. Did not get the kill on that, but on the bright side, they get this Dragon. Ganked by one lucky Fridge. Hismay should try to have been less aggressive in that situation, so he does not give over this Dragon by him essentially being killed. He did not die, but he was forced to go back to base. K1ZZ might be killing Mundo here.
Does grab that tower, gold down, that's 610 in the pocket. Is he going to grab another 300 more, starting to take this trade with Rochelle, who is just happy to take that damage up. The Mundo really not getting chunked out at all. Does have that Bramble Best done, does have the Bomby Cinder, and it's just able to take that damage, no problem. The Gore Drinker from Renekton not posing any kind of a threat, and I think that's where Rochelle has been just so comfortable taking this top lane over and just standing there and absorbing CS, absorbing gold, and absorbing pressure. It's been able to keep this very strong Renekton off the map so far into the 12-minute mark, but now that that tower does finally go down to the side of TAS, maybe we'll start to see that Renekton start to make plays across the map. I do believe he's looking for a TP play on the bottom side right now.
Okay, we're going to see Betray right here, as you said, go down to the ganks. There's good vision control all on the side of SKL. You see, it's almost 3 pink wards on the backside river. There's another ward, of course.
Fridge making the engage onto the mid lane there. Hisme only with the ultimate to try and save himself. There's the TP from the Renekton. We were calling
No
him maybe
flash.
looking for it. But now immediately the Glacial Prison comes down, and there goes Hisme, but now the re-engage from K1. Is he going to be able to get on top of Theracles, who has no ultimate available? One lucky Fridge taking to half HP. Here's a teleport for a third member of SKL in the mid lane. And that means that the engage can come into the bot lane. Immediate flash taunt on top of Zishan. Burns flash already to try and get out Gua is on top of the ADC. And there's the engage, but the amazing curse from Sad Mummy to shut down both of those targets as K1 re-engages onto Theracles, does grab that kill. The Graves ultimate barely leaving Zishan alive, but surprise, Rochelle is here. There's the bandit toss going wide. Zishan is incredibly low though, unable to find his way back into this fight as the Galio ultimate comes down. Spell immune from Rochelle, not taking any damages. All 3 of these skill-based members go incredibly low. Kill picked up for Gua. Betray also very low. Now the one lucky Fridge trying to go between K1. This game refuses to relent. Under tower between these two. This tower play very crucial for K1 to pick up apparently, as he seems to be trading effectively under turret without doing much of anything.
What just happened? There's so many fights on different sides of the map. First in the mid lane with a very smart repeat gank by one lucky Fridge. They kill off Hisme, and then there's a TP from the top side from K1ZZ. It was a bit late, and fortunately does not get a kill. K1ZZ runs away. Rochelle goes all the way down to the bot lane. Somehow, I don't think they kill anybody, and then nice engage by Anbu with this ulti. And they take down one member of SK. I can't even remember which one. Goodness gracious.
Took down Kevin on the re-engage. Was trying to find some sort of gold for Rochelle or Zishan to pick up. Obviously, Zishan's still so far ahead on this Lucian right now at the 14-minute mark. 5-0. Has that big shutdown gold available. If Gua or Hisme is able to pick it up, that could be huge for TAS to try and bring this game back. Now, I say that TAS currently sitting on the gold lead, and that is exclusively in farm from the top lane and the mid lane. Obviously, bot lane with a big lead on the side of skill base. But really, that gold being on the Renekton is only kind of delaying the timer of that Renekton falling off. And right now, you have to be looking at that Cassiopeia, who's so far ahead. I say that Renekton trying to make use of this gold lead that he has right now, as 4 people are in the bot lane right now for Zishan. Does he know? Rochelle has spotted out Betray, but now K1 getting on top of Zishan, who has no flash available, but does manage to E out of the way just as the W comes down. TP in from Theracles, now on top of K1. K1 getting taken incredibly low. The Goat Drinker tries to keep him alive, but there's the Glacial Prison on top of Theracles to pick that kill up, and that is gold into Theracles' pocket. Now we're going to start seeing that Lissandra get accelerated.
What I really like what Zidane did right there is he started off with his W, which actually does give you movement speed towards enemy champions on Lucian. And K1ZZ continued to engage. You try to get your double shot off because it does give you a reset on some of your cooldowns. He saved his Gale Force until he saw the E from Renekton, and then once he saw the E and he fully committed, he decided to Relentless Pursuit, which of course is Lucian's E, out so he does not get fully stunned and to get to the Q. Smart by him, got the encoding off as well to get advanced damage off. Very good mechanically speaking by Zishan there.
Yeah, no, it's been very, very good to keep himself safe. It's been so crucial to not give over that bounty if he doesn't have to. Obviously, that Renekton with that Gore Drinker has some longevity thanks to Season 11 items just to keep himself alive in these later stages, able to deal a lot more damage, able to stay relevant for a lot longer than he kind of historically has, but still starts to hit that reset button in the later stages of the game, just not able to deal enough damage, not able to be tanky enough, doesn't really provide enough CC. And so it's good to see K1 try and make use of this strong Renekton while he still has it. But as we go later, is that where TAS wants to be putting all their eggs? I think Hisme
Look at the war difference, by the way, when it comes to SKL and TAS. There's like 0 wards on the map for TAS at the moment.
Yeah, no, really good vision control. And able to stay on top of Betray as a result. Betray's been really struggling to try and find some good ganks. He's been getting some decent skirmish fights off, and that's where he's gotten the kills that he has. But right now, it's kind of skill based all across the board with these map plays as they are setting up for Dragon. There's no teleport available for Theracles as 4 members walk into that Dragon Pit. And I think given the 4v5, maybe skill base wants to try and let this one go. It doesn't look like they want to try and contest as Betray does briefly disconnect from the game, but is able to grab that smite and is starting to move towards that Scuttle Crab. Now that is Ocean Soul point delayed from the side of TAS, but not evened out.
Good by TAS to go as a team and get the priority over the Dragon, and I think it's actually pretty smart by SKL to not go into that engage right there and just say, all right, we're going to take this tower. We don't need to immediately go and die for this. This is a problem with a lot of teams. They see the objective and they just go and in for it, essentially, while a team already has the proper facilities to hold that position. They got to the objective first on TAS, and SKL was slow to rotate, and they said, okay, fine, we messed up on the rotation. Let's grab a different spot on a different side of the map.
And they grab that top lane tower, which evens out the gold. Now, I think the main thing that we need to be looking at this point in the game is where is that Rift Herald going to end up. Obviously, we could see an inner crack for the side of SKL, or they could try and open up this bot lane, give them the full outer turret, and get some access to the jungle from the side of TAS, try and get one Lucky Fridge ahead a little bit more. As the spot lane do look like we're going to have some kind of an engage here. We do have a little bit of discrepancy on the stream right now, though, so hopefully we're not going to miss too much there. As we do see the engage there onto Hisme. Fortunately, we did miss that engage from one Lucky Fridge, but just taking advantage, getting Hisme, both of those sums taken out.
We're going to see Hisme right here get the RLS jump down special with the Volley Bear ulti. Watch, he's going to jump on his face right here, the RLS special. He's screaming Ruby Light Up Sketches right there, which of course is the best name for RLS, in case you're wondering.
Yeah, just chasing down, trying to get Songo on the head, but unfortunately this time it was Cassiopeia, this time the snake was lying. And that is both summoners burnt from Hisme, the ultimate down, and just really too far forward, and you were saying that lack of vision control can be kind of crucial. I don't think that Hisme knew that gank was there as a result, and that vision control that has been so dominant so far for the side of skill-based, it just has been paying them dividends with this Volley Bear and getting so many ganks off, able to blow the summoners and making sure that there's no threat in the lanes. However, 5 people now coming down to the bot side of TAS as they're trying to engage onto one Lucky Fridge who had the Ignite Burn. There's the ultimate pop for K1. No health gained back, but it looks like he's just trying to hunt somebody down as the recall is immediately channeled from Zishan and Kevin. I don't think they're going to get anything.
And of course, where Hisme died in that play, it was all really because, again, the vision control, as you said, and that earlier Rift Herald play, which is why, one of the main reasons why I think Rift Herald should always go mid, because it opens up the map so much, and it gets you secure over vision in general. They've got the Rift Herald mid, did not kill the tower, but eventually it subsides, and they get to the tower, and it gets Hisme in a very, very long lane.
Yeah, Rift Herald just about to time out, does get dropped mid lane, the question mark
There
ping.
he's coming down here.
Now's the engage. Here it comes immediately onto Zishan. They're going to try and get something done here. Kevin using the Curse of the Sad Mummy to try and get people away from his poor ADC as Theracles is on the side lanes waiting to find some sort of engage. Surely they know there's the flash over the wall. CC down. Theracles now realizing that he's in an outnumbered fight. Betray taken very low, but so is Zishan. Theracles under turret with the Zanya popped as K1 and Ombo try to go underneath, but no, there's the ultimate popped to try and keep him alive there. No re-engage. There's now 4v5. Hisme over the wall does come in. There's the ultimate pop, but it stuns no one. As now, one Lucky Fridge has to try and walk away, and now, kind of a team-oriented play that we were looking to see from TAS wins them a lot of favors on the bot side of the map, and now they're going to be able to turn that into some map pressure.
The grounded is it's really, really important to kill this Volley Bear in general. You got the grounded players. We're going to see a Red Trail mid. I don't think he's going to get the tower. He should go down before that. But Cassiopeia with the grounded, he ults one Lucky Fridge and gets his. From that point on, he's really just dead because grounded is just perma-slow, and when you're Volley Bear, you cannot get out when it comes to that. Gua right now is trying to tower dive almost.
Rochelle
he gets away from Rochelle, I believe.
Trying to defend his mid laner, and it looks like an actual outplay there from Theracles under the tower to take down K1, the shutdown onto Gua, and now Rochelle starts to chase after this Galio, who has no flash available and freshly out of mana, as Kevin starts to come in with the bandage toss, and surely these repeated slows from Rochelle will be enough to take this kill out. There's nowhere for Onbo to go. There's the bandage toss picked up for the assist for Kevin, and big play from the side of Skillbase to take that 3v2 and put it in their favor.
And that play right there is really a culmination of TAS playstyle in general. They got an advantage, and then they just over-push, and they continue. They don't understand when to back off. They don't understand when to relax and really get their lead. They continue to push, and they continue to pressure things when they really should back off. They got that play. They got their kills. They could have got the tower, honestly, if they would have kept around a little bit and relaxed a little bit, but they continued and kept trying to push. They tower dive, and they got outplayed by Theracles, and then they got run down by Rochelle.
Yeah, Yeah, now I want to see if we can start to see TAS calm down a little bit. They're even in gold at the moment. That Cassiopeia, though, has been picked up a couple times in the mid lane, does have a decent amount of gold on side. And Cassiopeia scales so well into the later stages of this game, dealing so much damage. Able to stay on the outside of fights, really, like, no problem. Able to slow people down, keep people off of her. She's got effectively 700 range with those E's. But now it looks like skill base is starting to set up for this dragon as they're starting to wave Theracles around as bait. See if they can try and get people to go on top of this 5-second invincible Lissandra. No stopwatch available. Looks like skill base is going to just try and set up for this dragon as TAS trying to get 5 in position. I think we're going to see a big team fight rolling into this dragon now. K1 walking on top of the wards, trying to remove some vision now. And is there any solid engage available? There's no flash on the Amumu. Curse of the Sad Mummy is available as we start to see footsies in this mid lane. There's teleport available for Theracles, so he can't afford to push this mid lane in if skill base can stay alive. Now, Hisme walking very far forward as the poke starts to get thrown back and forth. Kevin trying to disguise himself so far.
Lissandra's still mid.
Yeah, Lissandra's still mid. Zishan throwing some damage down as the dragon starts to get brought down. 3k HP. Now, both teams looking at the smite available. There's the smite, goes down to the side of TAS. And now the Galio ulti comes in onto 4. Gets an amazing taunt off. So much damage up from the side of Gua and from Hisme. And this looks like it's going to be a 4 for 0 for the side of TAS. Superior setup on this fight. Getting into position and then the re-engage. There was no initiation there from Kevin, or at least it was too slow. And now we have to see TAS walk towards the Baron.
What an engage by K1ZZ and the Galio. He goes in with his E empowered, and then he goes and gets basically a teleport for Anbu with his ulti. They did a huge knockup. I think they knocked up 4 people. And that really is the thing when it comes to the fight. I don't know if Zishan's going to... I don't really know if he should be here. I think he should try to push the mid wave. He should be getting engaged.
Could be looking to try and get some kind of a Baron still here. Does not have the ultimate available. Nope, just going to stand there, make sure that the Baron goes down at the correct timing. Checking on the regulations there. Zishan is going to now take the recall as his team comes back on the map. And now this gold lead for TAS is actually starting to get relevant.
What I actually would have liked from SKL is when TAS originally forced their way into the Dragon Pit from the blue side jungle, I wish they would have tried to engage and not let them go into and get priority over the mid, over the Dragon. And if they did not want to do that and they did not want to fight, they should have just went right to Baron and forced TAS to either do the Dragon and get SKL vision and control over the Baron. By the time they would have finished the Dragon, they would have been around, Baron would have been around 4k or something like that. And they could have potentially would have synced out a Baron play. If they're not going to do that, if they did not want to fight, then they should have tried to go to Baron. They should have tried to get TAS off the Dragon instead of them walking in and then get priority over the Dragon.
One of the things that was unfortunately edited out of one of the lounges recently was the ancient scroll of Joshi's speak about geography and how teams are very able to, in both Helios and Luna, just able to walk through choke points and not get punished for it. Obviously, there's so much AoE with Theracles, with Kevin, with One Lucky Fridge. They were able to jump on that, and they had the vision control to say, okay, this is where their team is right now. We can jump on them in this choke point as they're all moving forward, and we can get on top of them, we can deal our damage, and we can get our CC down very effectively. Instead, like you say, they back off, let TAS get positioning in that Dragon, and now the engage is in their favor. They have the Cassiopeia to try and shut down anything because she's comfortable. They have Betray there to deal any damage to any frontliners who try to make their way in, and now they're facing a Baroned up Siege from a team who's grabbed 2 Ocean Dragons, and now immediately Theracles goes down under turret, and now we're starting to see this Graves deal so much damage with that Collector picked up, moving towards what I want to say is going to be Lord Dominic's. And now the flash in from Hisme, good reaction there. Is now the re-engage. Kevin getting an ulti onto 4 members of TAS. Now, Zishan, can he deal the damage? One Lucky Fridge onto the backlines. We're already missing Kevin. Zishan getting very low, and it has to retreat from the fight as Rochelle is there late. But the Prey Seeker just going wide there on Zishan. But the trade goes in favor of TAS. There's so much gold in the pockets of this team, and it looks like they're going to crack the first inhibitor now in the mid lane, maybe looking towards the top side of the map second, as K1 able to ward this team off 2 versus 1. Zishan hasn't gotten the full back yet, but is able to dash out of the way. The right clicks there of K1 not getting that targeted CC down, but now Zishan, it's all up to you. Try and hold this team. Theracles is here with the ultimate, with the flash. Are they going to find any kind of re-engage onto Betray, onto Gua? No, flash forward, GLP used. They're not going to find anybody just yet. Rochelle unable to chase down Betray as he goes over the wall, and this is just gold lost for skill-based.
Yeah, I'm not going to comment on what my boss just did right there. If I do, I'm almost positive I will be fired. What was that play, Mr. Theracles? Sir. But,
Theracles.
Yeah. Theracles wide. Nice engage, like you said, by Kevin, by the Curse of the Sad Brendan ulti. It's a 4-man ulti off, and they get They get Hisme immediately because he misses ulti. But an outplay by Zijan, they kill him, and then unfortunately they just overextend again, getting baited by the Galio ulti that gets up the knockup and kills off multiple people. Zijan almost dies by the Praise Secret by the end of the fight, like you said. And really, TAS seems to... One of the bright spots about TAS is they force a lot of teams to play their style of play, which is caveman style.
Yeah.
And SKL just did that. They just they got their lead. They got what they wanted. They stopped TAS from getting into that mid lane tower, and then they continue to overplay like a caveman.
Yeah, no, and they were able to bait them in forward like that. And I think what we're starting to see is that range deficit. Lucian has 500 range. That is lower than Kai'Sa. Kai'Sa is one of the lowest range ADCs in the game. That is equal to Kog'Maw before his W power. That is equal to Samira. That is equal to Sivir. Very low range ADC on this one. He doesn't seem to be able to find his way into team fights, but he does find his way into the engage in the bush here. Gua immediately on a rampage, taking down Rochelle before this fight even starts, but now Theracles finds himself in the mid lane and has nowhere to go but over the wall. That pick comes out immediately. We're looking at a third dragon, a third ocean over to the side of TAS as they've already lost their main frontliner. Is there going to be any kind of re-engage here? I think that they just have to give it up. And this is going to be third Dragon Ocean Soul Point over to the side of TAS. This is a huge win condition for this team. One Lucky Frage engaging onto K1 under towers. He goes incredibly low. The Dragon is picked up, but now can Zishan and Frage try and find an engagement? No, they have to jump out. The Galio ulti does come down, and the numbers have just been here. This coordinated team play that we were worried about. The immediate engage there from Gua onto the turret now does get immediately CC'd down by Theracles and by Kevin, popping both of their ultis to make sure Gua goes down to Zishan. Zishan 7-0-2, but what can he do?
Yeah, unfortunately this game, I say this a lot, but this is the problem with SKL, is they got ahead. By the way, this team was up 2 Dragon. Oh, nice. By Theracles to get out and make K1ZZ miss his W, but SKL was ahead of this game. They were ahead in a lot of games. They were up 2 dragons. They were up in gold lead by I think 2K, and then they just eventually make one mistake around an objective and they lose the game off that. I think the big mistake that they need to think about was allowing TAS to walk into that choke point, like you said, and they don't get punished for it. And from that point on, they lose the team fight, and they don't go to Baron like they should have. And they just give away the goal lead. And once TAS is ahead, they continue to fight, they continue to pressure. So it's looking really bad for SK on this game.
Yeah, and what do you do? How can you set up this Lucian, like, moving forward? You have a little bit of CC, and by a little bit, I mean, like, literally every other champion in the game right now. You have a huge amount of CC to throw onto the side of TAS to try and provide for this Lucian. But how do you deal with how much damage Graves is dealing right now? How do you deal with Kai'Sa jumping on your backline? How do you deal with Cassiopeia being able to ult him before he's in auto range? You need to give so much of it's a huge Lucian right now for Zishan. He's been playing really well, 250 CS right now. Gotten a huge amount of kills. The flash is actually burned there from Gua on the initial engage, from Kevin just throwing the vanish shots at the minion. But how do you make sure that this Lucian can hit people right now? And I think they have to have vision control, and I think they need to find a pick. But as of right now, it is not being allowed right now from the side of TAS. They're trying to stay as a team, and now there's this teleport onto the bot lane inhibitor. Surely no. Zishan looking for the recall. I feel like you have to pressure Baron right now, or have to pressure some kind of fight. You need to get something right now, because that... Yes, okay. TP going into the top lane now from Rochelle. So we're seeing a
wow, that's actually smart from TAS. A good macro play. I'm really surprised. They forced out the TP by Mundo, and they're going to call K1ZZ over to this mid lane to either fight, or they're going to... Is it going to be a flank opportunity, perhaps, by K1ZZ? Very smart by TAS, actually. I'm really surprised. What is happening? I told you, we're blessed to actually TAS play a good macro play. Is it going to steal here?
No steal available from Frage, and there goes the volley bear. So now you're looking at a 4v5 fight. I say that is a 1v4 fight for K1, backed up immediately by Onbo onto Kevin. 2-man ultimate pop for Kevin. Now Theracles is trying to walk away, doesn't quite get the ultimate off. And now it's just the chase down. Zishan, will you be able to continue this reign of terror that you've had so far? Are you going to play for KP, or are you going to play for the win? Trying to kite away from K1 as he finally does get on top of him. There's the flash W down. Zishan taken so low, and finally the Lucian will fall as Rochelle, the only final standing member on the side of skill-based, as Gua, Hisme, Onbo, Betray, and K1 all survive. All are there for the photo finish at the Nexus, and this is going to be a win for TAS.
This is a huge win, and it cannot be understated. My unofficial game of the week. This really is going to make TAS, in my opinion, the favorite for 6th places, which I have him in the power rankings, is I believe they're going to secure this playoff spot with a huge win over SKL. And unfortunately for SKL, this pretty much I think this seals their fate pretty much for not getting 6. They have to win out. They'd have to have TAS or FS, I believe, lose all of their games
Obviously,
to
there's
force
still
a
a lot
three-way
of
tiebreaker.
times, and you never know what's going to happen in the Luna League, but it is a difficult mountain for them to climb. For the side of skill based, I think that there was a very good performance there from Zishan, but just I know that you love the Lucian, Brendan, but
I do.
I don't think this was the right comp for it. I don't think that lack of range and that immediate volatility it was a good option for them. And if not, they needed another damage source. But we look at the damage numbers from the rest of that team, and Rochelle and the Mundo is the next option.
I absolutely agree with that. The problem with Lucian in general is he's still a weak champion. Don't get me wrong. He's very, very weak. The only time he's really a good champion is when he has an enchanter support, such as like Sona or Nami, especially with her buffs. I think that he's actually, if he shoots up with one of those supports, he's actually one of the best AD carriers if he has those lane partners. But if he has champions that cannot enhance his current passive that currently happen, where he gets more damage on his autos when he gets an enchanter and these kind of things, they do not have that, of course, with the Sad Mummy. So
yeah, just wasn't able to empower that Lucian to get on top of the team, but the immediate engage and getting on top of the team was for the side of TAS. We will be moving over to our final interview of the night with TAS. Don't go anywhere.
All right, folks, Chris Edgeworth here for our final interview tonight, and I am joined by a new face on the interview desk. I'm joined by Betry, the jungler from Team Asworth. How are you feeling after the win?
I feel that game was like pretty easy because I got lucky that game because the jungler, the enemy jungler is not ganking like camping top, so like we have a little bit pressure on the top lane, and like on the starting I got disconnecting, but like we still got a game later on the late game, so that's good.
You're able to work through some tough times. So
Yeah.
let's talk about the draft that your team was able to put together. It seems that Team Asorth has their own flavors for each player on the team of what their champion pool is. Can you talk to me a little bit about what you folks wanted in this draft and what you put together?
I think like for our support, Angbo, I think he's in a Swain, or like he can play like any support, but like I want him to be like Swain in every game. And like
Mhm.
for Ghoul, it's just Kaisa. For the mid, I think like he can play any mage, but like for our top, just don't play Chase and maybe Wukong, and that we good.
There you go.
Yeah.
And on that note, you played Graves, which is a big time carry jungler. We've seen you playing a lot of Kayn also. Talk to me about what it's like in the team as you guys are playing out these games, and especially how you're feeling on the map, as you seem to be the big carry presence on the map.
I think that's kind of good because like my play style is like farming late game, so it's just all about like how we play on like the early game, because like for the last two games I think like for our early games just like doing bad, so like I don't have any like late game strategy, so it's just like depend on how our early game, and like I don't like feel so much of pressure because I'm big carry, because like everyone do like the good job, so that's fine.
Right
Yeah,
on.
I love my team.
Excellent. All right. Well,
Yeah.
Betry, let's end it there. Thanks so much for joining us on the
Oh,
interview desk. I do want to give you the opportunity though to address any final thoughts, any shout outs, any banters, or any information you want to leave us with before we step away for the evening.
all right. So I'm just want to shout out for like the new season, the next season TAS team. It will be like a new team with a new strategies, new member, and like we got like young talents. A lot of young talents going to be like in a new season. So you guys better be scared by our new TAS.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Betry, for this
Yeah.
interview. This was awesome. We'll be looking forward to that. Folks,
All right.
that's it for tonight. We'll be back tomorrow with our second day of this week of our Luna League. So we'll see you tomorrow, 4:30 Pacific Standard Time. Thanks to all of our teams, all of our fans, and all of our staff for making this thing possible. And we'll see you tomorrow. Good night.